version is Michael's little pop-up version, so there's all kinds of goofy things going on during that. Making of Digging Deep, that was all just, we did blogs and things like that and filmed it as we went along when we were making Digging Deep, so that's on there. And 2012, I believe, we tried a worldwide webcast, and that's the complete show that's on there, so that's another 90 minutes, isn't it? So, hell of a bargain, I gotta say. I don't know if anybody has any questions, anything, yeah, dumbfounded.
Yeah, Danny, why did you not come to Firefest?
This year?
Yeah.
Well, two reasons. One is, it's never good to repeat year after year.
Yeah, but you're racing.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. And also, we felt very strongly that after that set that we did, anything else was going to be, God, yeah, they were good, but not as good as last time. It was one of those gigs, and we knew we couldn't do it again. And the Firefest crew agreed it was just not the right thing to do. Always retire on top, love. Always.
You were amazing, every time you come to Firefest. You were amazing.
We'll find another gig to do good in. Maybe tomorrow if you're around. Anybody else got something?
Yeah. Yeah, Derek, does it bug Seven Bells out of you watching the clips back again, thinking, what if?
What if? At one time. How do you feel about that? I don't know, because I'll answer my part and then you can take it. Anything I say, as you know, if you've seen me on stage, comes off as corny a lot, but I can't help it. It's just the way I am, and it's the way I feel. And I went through a period in my life where I was pretty resentful of the whole thing, because it really wasn't fair, you know. Ask Kip Winger how fucking unfair it was, you know. He'll tell you. You know, literally, it was in a period of a week, people just stopped taking your phone calls. You know, you were a pariah, you know, and you were done. Because in America, music is based on fashion. And so I went through periods where I was really angry about that. Taiketo's got one thing that's always true about us. We never ever do necessarily what's right or fashionable. We always do what feels best to us. And as I think one of us said in there, therefore it survives or fails on our shoulders. And that's very satisfying. And I get great satisfaction out of every single time now that I get to play. I'm older, I'm smarter, and I understand that just doing it, even at the level I do it now, is an unbelievable privilege when you consider everyone that's ever picked up a guitar or a set of drums and tried to make noise and get people to come listen. So, no, it doesn't bug me anymore.
Did for a while. For both of us, we had unique situations, because Danny was in Wasted, obviously, and toured stadiums and went on tour with Iron Maiden and did these wonderful things with his career. I was the original drummer in White Lion before Danny and I met, who went on to sell millions of records. So I remember somebody was asking me, like, you know, 2 real near misses for you, and how do you feel about it? And I guess with anything in life, I looked at it like, if I'm happy where I am right now, which I am, then you can't choose the path, and who knows what, you know, my son wouldn't be here if things happened a different way. So I'm kind of looking at the finish line where we are now, or the current one. I'm sure there's a lot more to come, but I wouldn't change anything, because if you're happy where you are today, then everything you did yesterday makes a lot of sense, even if it doesn't feel that way at the time. So we all went through our things. Like Danny said, the New York music industry, it happened like this tidal wave, that they kind of knew we were done before we were. And Brooke and I drove to the city, and these were people, all those people you saw at our Christmas party now. We went to our accountant's office, we have straight the numbers, the record's all done, we want to play it for you. We put it on, and he went, I gotta get this call, I'll be right back. And Brooke and I sat in this empty conference room and listened to our own record, and he never came back in. So we're like, something's going on. We had a magazine interview that day that mysteriously got canceled. And I got home that night, and our manager called us, and he said, Geffen's not going to release the record. And this was recorded, mastered, the photo shoot was done, the artwork was done, the release date was in place. It couldn't be any more ready to go than it was, and you're almost in shock. I take no shame and say I cried like a baby that night, because it was you're being told you're going to do these wonderful things, you believe the hype, you believe in your product, and you just find out you have nothing the next morning. And I think when I go on stage with Danny now, we've been doing this close to 30 years together, there's a level of pride in that, because we stuck it out because we chose to. A lot of times it was almost a hindrance to do so. But when you get to audiences, you guys coming out tonight, it all makes it perfectly worthwhile for us. So in a big scope, it was all worth it. The path was the correct one, because we're here right now with you guys.
Oh, that's nice. Can I ask you, Danny?
You got a lot of questions.
Danny, since you came to Firefest, it's been amazing, but we've lost a member this year, Jimmy Jameson. Would you, because we're coming tomorrow, would you do with respect to show that, because he's gone, as a member?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
It's just wanted to dedicate a song to Jimmy Jameson from Survivor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could, and I have a lot of respect for Jimmy. I never got to meet the man. We got compared a lot, which I think is actually a very, very high compliment to me. But love, if I did that, I'd have to dedicate to about 10 other people I also know that are gone. That maybe you don't. Singer for Cry of Love died this year. Jack Bruce died this year. It's a long list. They're very important people to... So it kind of turns into a litany if you're not careful. So we just hold Jimmy in our hearts. That's enough, I think.
Thank you.
But what I'm seeing a lot, and this year more than ever, the last couple of years more than ever, is I think Chris or Jed, one of the guys in the band, said from Friday's show in Glasgow, he's like, when you guys play Standing Alone, this feeling comes over the entire crowd, and it seems like everybody goes to a particular place like that. And for me, the last 3 or 4, I lost my mom about 5 years ago. Danny lost a very dear friend of his almost the same year, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
Took 2 real heavy hits, and I always saw it as a drummer watching the audience, but now I experience that, and it just takes you to a really nice, not a nice place, but a nice place in the sense of that song, more than anyone we've ever played live, we've ever written, it's a very personal touch for everybody. So everybody kind of does it silently in the room that night.
Anyone else? Thoughts? Nothing? Have we got time for a little music? Oh wait, hang on.
Danny, can I ask, outside of Ty Kettle, obviously I think the vast majority of us here know what you do. What's the other 3 members doing when Ty Kettle is not in action?
Current members, or are you talking about the original lineup?
The original members, yeah.
Brooke is living in Wisconsin now with his wife and 2 kids, and he's running a guitar luthier business. He still plays quite a bit. Brooke just simply lost the love of touring. He doesn't like traveling. He loves being home with his family. We're all on great terms. And Brooke has possibly the best compliment you could get on our new wonderful guitar player, Chris Green, is that Brooke called up after seeing footage and he was like, fucking hell, where did you find this guy? He's really got it. He's doing it justice. And and I just thought, well, that's that signed, sealed, and delivered. So the relationship is very good. Jimmy Kennedy still lives in New Jersey and works a hard job there. He works all the time. We don't have the benefit of being able to go out and play live a lot with Jimmy because he only gets, like most jobs, 2 weeks a year where he can go away for a block period of time. So we do what we can with him. And again, it's kind of a family aspect because obviously, if you know some of the stuff I've done, I've been very lucky to work with Chris Childs for all these years. And he's my first phone call. So, and Jimmy is perfectly happy with that. So we've just got a great relationship amongst all of us.
Can I ask you a question, Danny?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff do you listen to? What other bands are your sort of favourite bands?
Favorite? I mean, because I just listen to everything.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, particularly the last radio show I did. I really just trotted out everything, and it was gospel, and it was country, and it was singer-songwriter stuff like Tom Waits. I think as a musician, you're going to stagnate if you don't keep pulling in. Unfortunately for me, showing my age, I don't listen to that many new bands. I caught on to the Temperance Movement this year, and that was a band that I absolutely adore. But it's because they sound like the old bands.
Serpentine, would if you like to listen to them?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, was that with Matt Black, wasn't
it? Tony Mills sang with the first 2 albums, wasn't he? He might have Shine TNT.
Yeah.
He sang the first 2 albums. We met the guys at Firefest this year, Gareth and Chris, the keyboard, the guitar player.
Right.
They put the album out in March, I think. So that's being mixed now somewhere in Chicago, I think.
Yeah, good. Well, there's always new music being made out there. It's just harder to get it to large groups of people.
Well, I was just getting back to the grunge thing. I think the grunge will won't last. I think the melodic rock that you do will last longer.
Maybe.
People still play it.
I sometimes wonder about people, you know, we all look back on our youth, you know, we think, you know, for me, it was the 70s. And I think about all those bands that I adored in the 70s, whether it was Grand Funk Railroad, and I think, oh, I remember that party, and we were listening to Shining On, and, you know, and back when I was a kid, every party ended with the live version of Freebird. I don't know why, but that's it, and everybody just headbanged until you threw up, you know, and that was that. And I'm kind of wondering if that generation is going to look back and say, oh yeah, remember when we were listening to how much fun we were having when we were 17 and we were listening to all that dark, unhappy stuff, you know? I can't quite make the connection somehow.
That's why.
Yeah, he's up.
I'm going to find out, do you happen to have just a regular guitar cable handy I could put into a DI? Have you got time for like a song or two? Because I did promise.
So he said you would fight first. Go on there, Danny. Come on,
Quick question for you, Danny.
Yeah, go on. We'll just set up. So.
Obviously, the Taiketo you've got now is a little bit different to the original one. Is there any thoughts about doing an album with that lineup? Or?
A lot of thoughts, yes.
Right.
Time willing, we absolutely will. And what's nice about it is that I think almost everyone that's involved in Taiketo will be involved in it. Again, Brooke doesn't have the time to like just get away for a month to work and rehearse, but the pathway is wide open for him to contribute songs, and he's very happy with that. So I think there's going to be sort of involvement with everybody on the next one. I won't say it's a done deal, but we really want to. It's up to me to get my ass in gear and start writing more songs. That's the truth of that. Let me find a guitar. And this is the hard part. We can stuff out of here. Look at you, run away, you coward!
Trying to solve it, didn't do it, just kept failing. I don't think this thing's got a signal strong. It's raining, I'm so annoyed. It would have worked so well. Never mind.
Let's see. Hey. This funny place now with playing acoustically because I like to sit down when I play, and these days the hair is just going right into the strings. So I can't cut it because my wife will divorce me. So.
You teach yourself to play, Daniel? Did you get taught?
Self-taught, it shows, believe me. There's vast gaps in my musical knowledge, but you know, luckily I did a couple of songs last night acoustically, so I should be able to manage a couple out of memory. And I'll just do a couple of solo songs because obviously I'm assuming most of you are going to be around tomorrow night and you'll hear all the Taiketo stuff. So, and we're still toting around my solo CDs as well because probably you guys all know this, but I just recently got the rights back to my first 2 solo albums like a year or 2 ago and put it together in a package called Reprise, where both of them are, so I'm going to do a couple from there. I could do anything, that's what she said. I could be anyone, that's what she said. Put on your masquerade and fake and play, she said, she said. I need to learn to dance, that's what she said. Take that stick out of my ass, that's what she said. I need to pirouette and sway, she said. She says that I'm alright. She says that love is sweet and life's too short for embarrassment. I need to lighten up, that's what she says. I am so serious, even in bed. I've got an actor's heart, but I won't let it play, she said. And she says that time won't wait. She says that I'm alright. She says that love is sweet and life's too short for embarrassment. Sing like no one is listening, dance like no one is watching, work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt. And she says the time won't wait. She says that I'm alright. She says that love is sweet and life's too short for embarrassment. And she says that I'm alright. She says that I'm alright. She says that love is sweet and life's too short for embarrassment. That's what she said.
I'll do another one, but I need to get something first. Hang on.
Sit.